let any non-family member sit over the wealth of the nation? Brother Muhammad, as God is my witness and my judge, I ain't never stole a dime or as much as a penny, and if anybody can prove that, I'll give you my life. But if you slander me one of these days, I'm coming after you, brother. And if I'm worthy of death for what you charge me with, what are you worthy of if you lie on me? The next morning, February the 26th, I meet with Wallace D. Muhammad in the office. Tears in my eyes. I said, brother, I came to offer you my help in the awesome responsibility that you have undertaken. Hear me now. I said, but brother, when you were in New York, you said something about Master Bernard Muhammad that I would like you to clear up for me at your earliest convenience. But today, the devils will be watching, and they'll use anything we say to foment division among the Muslims. And I said to him, I will say nothing or do nothing to contribute to no disunity. He looked across the messenger's desk and said, brother, I need your help. Sharif, he came out from behind the desk. Sharif stood between him and me, had one hand on his shoulder, one hand on mine, and said to me and him, brothers, from this day forward, if you have anything to say to each other, don't say it in the public, say it to each other. We agreed. That's the morning of February 26th. That afternoon of Savior's Day, Sultan Muhammad comes to me and says, brother, where are your gods? I said, what gods? He said, your fruit from New York. I said, I guess they're over at the amphitheater. He says, man, well, you better get them around you. I said, for what? He said, man, these people going crazy. I didn't know what he meant. He drove me to the amphitheater, and they were expecting me to come in the front door. I came in the back door. And when I came in, they stopped me. The FOI stopped me at the door, wouldn't let me in until Rasul permitted them. And when I got up to speak, they had Jeremiah come behind me. Go look at the movie. Wali Baha and others stood up in case I said anything out of the way. They would have snatched me down. But listen, brother, Jeremiah has confessed to me. I know what went on now. I wasn't going to go out there and make no doggone spectacle of myself and you. If I didn't think I knew what the next step was, and Wallace said he knew and was going to be true to his father, go ahead, man. I'll submit and follow you. Just like you said today, brother, if somebody can prove you wrong, you sit down and follow. That's a humble heart. Well, I felt the same way. And when he began to speak, he praised Master Bernard Muhammad. You remember that Savior's Day? He said he was going to honor the seat of his father. He said his father was not flesh and blood from the clay of Georgia. His father was a mind and a spirit and an intelligence. Didn't he say it? I said, well, he's all right. Maybe we can walk together. I went back to New York and apologized to all of the people for what I had said about Wallace and said, let's lock together because the messenger wouldn't want us breaking up into division. I didn't know who Wallace was or what he was to do. 6 months. In fact, it was 30 days later, I'm right out here in California, in Los Angeles, at the home of the woman called Mary of the Supremes. Her husband tells me, look, Muhammad Ali's lawyer was in town and told me that they're going to get rid of you because you've been stealing the money, and they're going to move you out of New York, and they're going to bring Jeremiah in from Philly. This is a lost found telling me what's going to happen to me in a nation that I work night and day with my Lord to build. Now, I'm telling you, I was not afraid. But what I was afraid of is trying to lead you and lead you wrong. That's what I was afraid of, not no combination of niggers. Damn it, when you know Allah and know the messenger, you're not afraid of people. I went on with Wallace. I went down in the Caribbean, people coming up by the thousands. Rasul come down and tear me up. Him and Akbar, all of them followed my tracks. 5 months later, they undermined me in New York. Moved me out. I knew it was coming. Went right along with it. Went to Chicago. Silas Muhammad said, you speak once a month. Once a month. Gave me $400 a week. I ain't never made that much under the messenger. He raised my pay $100 and then stopped me from preaching. Figuring that he'd just keep me flying around till I run out of gas. That's right. Then took my assistant minister, Mr. Larry Foy, Kareem Abdelaziz, brought him up from St. Louis, sitting beside me one day and laughed in my face and said to me, meet your new boss. I never said a word. I went out with Brother Aziz for dinner that night. I said, Brother Aziz, just like you served me in New York, I'll serve you in Chicago. God had brought me down, brothers, so he could purify me for today. When Wallace started talking about his father, you don't know this, Brother Muhammad. You don't know this, Sister Muhammad. None of you know it. But I went to Wallace. I said, brother, in fact, when I went in his office, he had the tape recorder going. All these guards standing around. I can't talk to the leader of the nation and cut him down in the presence of his God. I want to talk to him alone, man to man. And I've been talking to him like that, brother, long before I ever knew there was a Silas Muhammad in the world. I talked to that man face to face, tooth to tooth. I ain't afraid of a damn soul, brother, but Allah and his messenger. I want you all to know that. I said to him, I said, brother, I said, Malcolm made that mistake. I said, you got a short track record. You just got started. I said, if you attack your father, whom everybody's faith is in, I said, and make the people think that he is immoral, the people will go back into the world. I said, leave your father alone and go on and do what you have to do. I'm telling you what I told him. I told him this in the Watergate in December of 1975. I told him again on a tape in either March or April of 1976. I told him, look, I didn't come here to sit around and die. I said, the messenger put too much in me. If you don't want me, I'll leave you just like you left him. But you don't know what I told him, because I wasn't going out on the mountain. I was talking to him, honoring my word. But it was killing me. I tried to preach what he preached, because I couldn't answer the question. A new teaching was coming. Maybe this is it. Or maybe this is what the messenger was leading us into, the truth, the practice of the Quran, like it's practiced over there. I'm trying to read the thing out. Every day I'm slipping further down, losing the spirit, till I got so, I just didn't know what. You mean to tell me 20 years I've been preaching lies? So I just shut my mouth. And in January of 1977, Silas Muhammad called me. I had been silent for 4 months. He said, brother, the spirit is dying in the nation, and frankly, we are hurting because you're not speaking. As God is my witness. He said, brother, I would like for you to go back to New York. Or you can have Chicago, or Los Angeles, or Cleveland, or Detroit. I said, well, I can't go back to New York unless somebody go in and clean up all the garbage that's been thrown on my name in New York. You know what he told me? He said, those that threw that on you in New York, they're not in the temple anymore. I said, but they live in the city. Now, what am I saying this to you for, brothers and sisters?